Hello, everybody. It is I, the Wolfman Roy, coming to you live and in charge. Your head projectionist, your head curator, the man about town, coming to you live and in charge. And with me is my head concessions man, my head mechanic, and my head cleanup man, Dr. Chaotic. Say hello, Doctor.
Let's see. Fish guy came in. You gave me about a couple of stuff from Corpus Christi, and for some reason a pack of 38. Do you know anything about these?
Nah, I don't know anything about those.
Uh,
By the way, the
I'll just
safe
have
is
it.
empty. Do you know why the safe's empty?
Shit. I think did Okami get try to grab her rent again?
All I need her to do is just give me a call first, and then we hand over the cash. God, Lee. Anyways, we are reviewing 1984's Blood Simple. Yes, 1984's Blood Simple, coming in at a buck 37, directed and written by Joel and Ethan Coen, starring John Getz, Francis McDormand, Dan Hedaya, I always mess that up. Emmett
Yeah.
Walsh, yeah, Sam Art Williams, Deborah Newman, yeah, Newman, and a cast of thousands. I'm surprised no one has bumped those numbers yet. Critics family, what is up? You should be watching this. This is like prime 80s film here. The aesthetic and everything.
Roy. Remember, that's what we're here for.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember. Someone said we're here to make people remember the classics.
Okay. Let's turn those tables right, aren't we? So, Doc, this is your first instance with Blood Simple. And a tale about an owner of a seedy small town Texas bar. I see why you picked this. I see why
I
you
didn't know.
picked this.
I didn't know about the Texas connection. I was just based off the Cohen connection. I didn't know about the Texas connection.
Discovers that one of his employees is having an affair with his wife. Chaotic chain of misunderstandings, lies, and mischief ensue. Or as I like to call it, hilarity. So what you think, Doc?
Uh, Honestly, it is definitely good. It's interesting to see how this is kind of the Cohen style, but not really. Because there
What
are
do you
bits
mean
of
by that?
pieces stuff there. It's just
What do you gotta explain that to me. Unpack that for me, please.
okay. So the thing I know about the Coen Brothers for a lot of their later stuff, the
Right.
stuff everybody knows, Fargo, Big
Mm-hmm.
Lebowski, Inside Llewyn Davis, all these other ones.
Right. Right.
And the thing is, even like they're more like even No Country for Old Men, that was very distinctly
Oh.
dark, dark comedy, but
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't really, but it still still how had bits of comedy and bits of darkness. With this one, I don't know. It really felt like just like a pure noir movie that just happened to be made by the Coens,
Yeah, that's what
Like,
they were aiming for. Noir. Or they are considered the first ones to do neo. Not the first ones in the 80s to strike up the neo noir.
yeah, it's just I admit it. Admittedly, it's mainly. I guess it's mainly because I'm so used to their later stuff, and I also notice how weirdly slower pace this one is than a
Mm-hmm.
lot of their later stuff. Because
Oh, yeah.
even with stuff like No Country for Old Men or like the True Grit remake, they had a nice sense of pace and speed.
Mm-hmm.
This
Oh,
one takes its time in the most interesting way.
yeah.
and it's definitely good, and it's definitely better than the last '80s neo noir movie that we watched. You know, the one with Wings Hauser, Isabella Rossellini, and potatoes for some reason.
Oh, what one was that? That was oh shoot, Vice. Was that Vice?
No, no, tough
No,
guys
no.
don't dance.
Sometimes they don't dance. Yes, I'm sorry. Oh man. Oh
Oh God!
God.
Oh
Oh
man! Oh
man. Oh
God! Oh
God. Oh
man!
man. I am so sorry. I missed that one.
I like you all natural, puts feathers on my ass. But yeah, this one is definitely cool to see. I don't know if it would be my favorite Coen's movie. Like, I'll be honest, I to this day my favorite is still probably Big. No matter how many ones of the scene, my favorite is still probably Big Lebowski. But as it is, it shows that the Coens, if nothing else, were damn good at doing genre pieces
hmm
in their own kind of weird way.
Right. Of course. And see, do you know the story of this?
How it was made, you mean?
Yes.
No, I didn't look into that.
Okay. This has a little Michigan connection for you.
Hmm.
So the Raimis, they get done with Evil Dead, right?
Right, right.
They go to New York to get everything all edited for distribution for cans and everything. Okay. So they're renting an editing bay, and the guys who are running the bay, the set of bays, was the Collins.
Mm.
So while they're spending meticulous hours on end just living in this editing bay, cutting this thing, Cohen's asking the Raimis how they get the money and everything. So they're talking about their prototype movie.
Mm.
The prototype movie is to sell them on the concept, what they're going to go for. So the Coens say, well, if you got the time, you can say no if you want. Can you help us make a a prototype film? They're like, hey, no, hey, once we're done with this, you tell us where you need us and how you need us to be. We'll show you how to do it. So, like in between like lunch breaks and then like when they had free time, the Coens were like taking notes from the Raimis. And they made a prototype movie for this movie. Let's simple. With Bruce Campbell in the John Getz position.
Yes, of course.
Of course, yeah. And so they use that to get the funds for this movie. And the
Hmm.
rest, as they say, is history.
That weirdly makes a lot of sense now that you explain it.
hmm So the Cones have the Raimis to think, help them out, get them to where they're at. And they helped them
I,
out with, oh, shoot, what was the name of Crime Wave? They helped them out with Crime Wave, the
ah,
director of a movie that the Raimis did, and the Coens produced.
okay.
hmm
Man, it is interesting to see how many weird connections you can make with other like cult filmmakers when you think about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's almost incest sometimes,
Yeah.
or as I like to call it, the Philly scene. Boom.
Oh God.
They're gonna get me. Anyways,
Yeah, I love you make that joke on the day they select a new pope.
yeah, yeah. I'm Protestant. I don't really care. So,
Yeah.
anyways, did you catch the subtleties in the movie?
There were a couple of things, yeah. Like the main thing for me that's interesting is how this is definitely grounded, but not like in the new Hollywood sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's sort of muted in a weird way.
Bit. Yeah,
Like
we're
I
sort
don't
of
think
to
does
go.
anybody like really yell in this movie? Now that I think about it,
No, no. You
Maurice
mean like
maybe, but like
well, Maurice does, but do you mean like in pain or in excitement or just like really yelling out of anger.
Like yelling out of anger, because
Just Maurice.
yeah, there's not a lot of that. Like everybody's strangely like, I guess maybe not nonchalant. Maybe
Uh-huh.
is the right word.
Right.
No, I say this right now. The biggest examples is with Julian and Lauren, Dana Day and Emmett Walsh. I
Mhm.
have never seen those two so neutral in my life, but they weirdly fit into the roles of sleazeballs.
Right. It is a bit sleazy. But that's Texas sleazy. That's what we expect, the Texas sleazy.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite. Like that's the thing. Like you think about Dana Day as like later roles,
Mm-hmm.
and like they always typecast him as the giant, angry, like either like police captain or father-in-law, or
Right.
like we talk the one movie we've seen him in Alien Resurrection where he's the army, where he's the fucking military general.
General, yep. Mm-hmm.
Like he's always like bug-eyed and screaming and like being sarcastic.
Right.
This is him at his most calm I've ever seen.
Well, smoldering is what I like to call it.
Yeah, that is true too, considering that, him in this involves him murdering and being murdered.
Right.
So,
Oops. Spoiler, guys.
whoops. Well, I mean, this is 1984, so.
Oh, you got those motherfuckers out there who like, I was gonna watch that movie.
Yeah, well, too late, assholes. You're dealing with us now. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, yes.
so.
But yeah, everyone's smoldering
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Yeah, like.
or second guessing themselves.
Yeah. Like, the only one that I might argue against that other than Maurice, but Maurice is kind of. Maurice, I imagine the way they wrote him is just perpetually sick of this shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, it's I don't know if you caught it when he's first introduced. What is he doing when he's first introduced?
He's talking to his friend about the Ring of Fire, right?
What was he doing before that?
Oh, was he pouring stuff or what was? Oh no, the jukebox with the quarter. Yeah,
What was he playing?
I know it's the song that plays at the end credits. It's like you're my honeybee, but like honeybees they sting. No,
The Four Tops. Same old song.
ah, okay, so that is the Four Tops. I
Yeah.
knew that sounded way too familiar. Explains so much.
And it's playing every time he's shown, he's playing that same song. And it fits him. Because it's the same old song he has to deal with.
Yeah, the same old shit with crazy white people.
Right. And it's sort of, in a ways, the theme for the movie. It's the same old song. You get misunderstood and you fall into a bunch of bullshit. And you try to resolve the bullshit, which means you're getting misunderstood again and you're falling in a new pot of bullshit.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the more interesting things about like more modern noirs where
Mm-hmm.
like you think about like the 40s, like the prime days of noir, a lot of it is purely cops and gangsters.
Right.
Like and even like Private Eyes, it's like the woman walks in, she's tied to the gangster did it, you just got to prove it.
Right. Or
This
the gangster's gone, you're just helping the femme fatale find the gangster's goods.
yeah.
You know?
In this one, and actually you think about a lot of like Coen Brothers movies, it's where it starts with one misunderstanding and then it sort of spirals and goes into a branch of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, like in this one, I know Big Lebowski, of course, examples like it starts with the rug, it ends with the fucking nihilists and fucking poor Donnie. Another big one is actually Simple Man. If you ever watched that one,
I haven't seen Simple Man.
oh, it is. this one's dark by way of subject matter and tone.
Okay.
Simple Man is fucking nihilistic as all hell and almost existential. Because holy shit. Like
After
you talk about a movie that you need to Zoloft and hug your grandma after. Right. That'll make you question God in a weird fucking way, let me tell you.
a little bit, yep. And definitely one of the best scenes right here.
Yeah, that was interesting because like I will say a big point in this favor in this movie is the cinematography and the way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think about neo-noir, especially with like, well, Tough Guys Don't Dance is a bad example, but like,
Yeah. You want DOA. You want Angel Heart. You want um Against All Odds.
yeah, like those have like harsh shadows, but they always have like the neon. And
Mm-hmm.
like since you're always in the big city and it's always raining, you get like these blurred segments of light. But with this, you're in like small middle and nowhere Texas.
Oh yeah.
So all you have is moonlight and that's it. And it
And
makes for some
headlights.
very beautiful shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like with this, when Frances McDormand escapes for the first time and sleeps on Ray's couch, you have the
Right.
shot where she's still awake and all you see in the light is her eye, but you can
Mm-hmm.
tell like she's like paranoid and trying to hope that nobody comes after her.
Right.
And there's also like near the end of the climax where um and then Walsh is shooting at the wall,
Mm-hmm.
trying to bust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bullet holes get these little shafts of light through the wall. It
Right.
makes it actually really weirdly beautiful image.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if nothing else, it shows these guys were very, very adept with camera placement and lighting, certainly. Which, when you think about it, doesn't really translate weirdly into their later stuff, but it does give us sort of hints of
Raising Arizona had some really good night shots.
true, but also you think of like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"
Mm-hmm.
or how Simple Man. A lot of it's during the day. So is Lebowski for the most part.
Right.
So
The bowling alleys and the outside ex- exteriors of the bowling alley work really well.
yeah,
Mm.
I'm, okay. Maybe it's not like they don't always do bright lighting, but they don't do as harsh as lighting as this.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like there are lots like the lighting kind of got softer later on.
Right.
Even with with No Country for Old Men, like some of the darker scenes in that, it still had the soft light of like a light bulb.
Okay.
Like I think of like that one scene where Anton's sitting down and confronting the sheriff. You still had the light in the shitty motel, the light bulb in there, and he's just
Right.
sitting down there with the gun, just waiting. It's
Right.
creepy, but it's not like harsh lighting like this
Mhm.
is.
Right. Do you think it's because we use better lighting as time went on?
Maybe I imagine it's maybe they're getting more creative with their lighting,
Okay.
or like, or maybe like they got more faith in their writing and directing ability, so they didn't want to worry about giving it a very distinct style because they knew what they knew really well. Because when you
Mm.
think about it, a lot of Coen movies are very specifically sort of not exactly like straightforward, but they're not like noir complicated. Like they'll deal with
Right.
big complicated things. Don't get me wrong. Like I
Mhm.
said, you have Serious Man, which is basically poor dude has his life go fucking out of control and starts to question God,
Mhm.
aka basically the Kabbalah. You have stuff like, of course, you have Miller's Crossing, but you also have Lebowski,
Yeah.
which is which is definitely focused on the comedy, but it's definitely still a little more complicated crime drama. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Fargo is a murder mystery, but the murder mystery is somehow both plain and yet deep, I guess is the best word for it. Like, that's the thing about the Coen brothers that's fascinating to me. These guys have a very distinct style, but they're
Mm-hmm.
also, their style is so fucking weird, it's kind of hard to explain.
You can't tag it down to one set style.
Yeah, like, because you think of like Wes Anderson or, um, what's another good example? Fuck it, I'll use him. You think of like Wes Anderson. Like, he has a very distinct style in the way he shoots things, in the way he writes things, and
Mm-hmm.
you can describe it very easily. A lot of symmetrical shots, very pastel colors. Owen Wilson, for some reason, is usually involved.
Okay.
You know, he's all about dysfunctional families or weird dysfunctional father-son relationships. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
has very set things. It's just that depending on like what he wanted to do, it changes. Like, you know, you think of like Darjeeling Limited and Tenenbaums. You know,
Right.
those are dysfunctional family stories, but they're set in very specific styles and eras. You know, Rushmore is more modern, but it still has a style, and of course, it has Jason Schwartzman. With the Coens, they have
They have.
really they have a style in various particular
Mhm.
tropes, but they don't stick to it as strictly as someone like a Wes Anderson.
Would you say the genre is their style? And they try to fit that genre in as many other genres as possible.
Maybe, but the thing is also is that for them, it seems like they're morphing genre to them, not morphing them to genre.
Right.
Because they've done a lot of crime movies, like, you know, this Lebowski, technically Fargo, but they also did a lot of comedies, like
Mm-hmm.
Or Brother, Where Art Thou, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like Serious Man. Well, it's a dark comedy, but it's still a comedy. But then you'll have the more like introspective dramas, like Inside Llewyn Davis,
Right.
and then you just have randomly them deciding to do westerns with like Ballad of Buster Scruggs and the remake of True Grit.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like it's them doing genre through their particular lens, not so much them trying to go through their trying to morph to their choice of genre with the choice of movie that they make. I
I
don't know
get
how
what
else.
you're saying. Okay.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's a very weirdly specific thing.
You so it's like you're watching a Coen Brothers film, but that you're going at every genre.
Yeah,
But you
like
can you can tell it's them.
yeah, like
You
in
can't put your finger on it, is what you say.
yeah, and like there are specific things I can put my finger on. Like like they have like Wes Anderson. They have a stable of actors. Frances McDormand, for example,
Right.
she's in this. I know. Did they work with Eminem Walsh after this? Because I think he's been in a couple.
I think they worked with him. Looking at Emmett Walsh's
Well,
stuff.
I know Eminem Walsh is kind of a legendary sort of like character actor. Like,
Right.
you might not know his name, but you definitely know his face.
Oh, of course. Looks like he only worked with them in Blood Simple.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess Frances McDormand is kind of the main sort
The main
of
story, yeah.
recognizable thing in Coen because she would go on later, of course, legendary in Fargo, but also a couple of others.
Yep.
Like some other ones, I could make an example. Like we mentioned with the Four Tops, they love using oldies in a lot of their movies.
Oh, of course, yes.
You know, like this, it had Four Tops, and then arguably, like, you know, famously Lebowski used a lot of like 60-second, a lot of like 60s rock with stuff like Kenny Loggins, and although Admittedly, the most musically thing I remember from Big Lebowski is I told you I had a bad day. I want to go home, and I fucking hate the Eagles.
Eagles. Yes. Speaking of music, how about that main theme?
It is,
Simplistic yet menacing.
yeah, that's an interesting thing too. Like, I think that might be a trope for them as well, because a lot of the composers they choose to work with a lot of the time do
Hmm.
scores very, very simply.
Right.
Because it definitely seems like it definitely weirdly seems like they want the atmosphere, but they don't want it to be a distraction.
Right.
Um, and it's just like, and it fits in like little bits and pieces. Like if it's not playing like licensed stuff, it's
Hmm.
having interesting sort of kind of little, just adds a little bit of that extra oomph to a scene. I guess is the best way to put it. Like it's not the main ingredient, but it's definitely a really good seasoning. I guess is the best way to put it.
Right. Yeah.
See, and still close to their best. I don't know if it's their best, but it's definitely
Yeah.
the most interesting.
It looks like it's sort of roundabout four, one, two, three, four most excellence, couple rats, well, five most excellence. But by the way, guys, come on, don't just like vote it in and just leave it there. I can understand using it as a placeholder, but you got to put something in. You just can't say, "Oh, it's good because I say it is."
I think you got to keep in mind, Roy, with aggregate sites like this, some people don't use it to get their opinions out. Some people use it as a backlog.
Okay, sure.
So you'll have people who will and then you'll have people that just do it as a list for themselves to say that it's there.
Okay.
Like that, oh yeah, I watched this at this day and I remember this. Like I remember liking it.
Right.
Because that's the thing about aggregate sites like this at the end of the day, like this, Letterboxd, even IMDb, arguably, you have this kind of thing of like, some people use it as a social experiment, some others use it as just a database. And that's kind of like, and that's just kind of how it is sometimes.
Right.
Like, IMDb is literally called the Internet Movie Database.
Database. Of
So,
course.
I see that sometimes and I don't get mad at that because, like, I think about it, I'm like,
Well,
if I
no.
wasn't, if I wasn't such an opinionated asshole, I'd probably do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not mad. It's just I don't understand it. Is all.
Yeah. It is what it is. Like, trust me, I think the way me and you go on tangents and tangents and opinionated, we have opinions for most people. Let's be honest with
Oh yeah.
ourselves.
Oh yeah. So if we were setting this up, where would you rate this?
Um, maybe definitely most excellent, but I think maybe low 90s, maybe.
Low 90s, like a 90.
Yeah, like 1991, maybe.
Yeah, I'm at that point too, maybe 93.
Yeah, because there is some stuff that like is kind of a barrier to entry.
Mhm.
It is slow. It is a slow burn.
Right.
And while that works for noir stuff for some people, it might not be like might be a bit of a deal breaker for them in
Yeah.
their crime movies.
No. Hey, if you're starting out on neo noir or like film noir, this is at least second or third. This is expert class.
Yeah, because you need the patience and
You need to
the
build that up.
yeah,
You
and
need to
build the
work at
time
it.
to let things develop.
Hmm.
Because this is one of those where, again, with Coen Brothers, like it starts with one incident and then it just goes and builds and builds and builds and builds to the end. And I will say, our main guy is a little bit sleepy.
He seems sleepy. Yes.
Because like Francis McDormand and MMA Walsh and Dana Dale, like yeah, they're understated, but they're still giving very intense performances.
Hmm.
Like like Dana Dea is doing his best sort of slimy scumbag. MM Walsh seemingly has
Even more,
decided,
he's got to match that. He's got to match that and get a little bit over. You
yeah,
know.
like you have MM Walsh being sort of a giddy sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, yeah, the money's running, but they ain't really. If it's still legal, I'll do it. Well, it's not strictly legal. Well, if the money's right, I'll do it.
Do it. Yeah.
And like the ending thing where, spoiler alert, after to kind of wrap up the whole plot. So basically, Danadea hires MM Walsh to first spy on his wife in order to see who if she's cheating on him, which technically she was with
Well,
Ray.
it came about because he thought he was. This is the whole thought and the whole betrayal of thought that pushed it. It wasn't happening before, but now because you're getting spied on, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Like basically, again, it's a misunderstanding that kind of spirals into something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
there's that. And then after MMA Walsh takes the photos and shows them to Danny Day a little bit later, after like a bit of like back and forth about money, like, because of course this is a noir movie, there's money involved somehow.
Always money involved somehow.
Money involved. There's like, I will say there's one thing that made me laugh. It's unintentional, but it made me laugh.
What's that?
Francis McDormand has one of the swiftest kicks to the dick I have ever seen in a movie.
Yes, I'm like, did you say? I thought that was sped up. To be quite honest,
Maybe, but
it
whatever
was either
it was swift, it was hard, and goddamn, I felt it.
yeah, it was either a kick to the dick or the solar plexus.
Either way, he's puking, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
blame.
Yeah, no, yeah, go ahead, puke, man. I felt that. I felt that.
So after like basically they're over and all these other things, what ends up happening is that Danadea goes back to MM Walsh, who's for some reason on a cliffside by a lake, surrounded by like teenagers.
As he arranged a rendezvous point.
Yeah, but also to me, the fact that Danadea comes up to an MM Walsh is seemingly hitting on a teenager.
Which you thought he was rolling a joint.
Yeah, but it's well, like you can see like that character being kind of like that kind of creepy, a little bit.
A bit.
Especially when he gets going about talking about his stories. Like he seems like the type of guy that won't shut up unless you make him.
Right. Yeah.
And so anyway, Danadea meets up in Washington and asks him, "Hey, I think I want them dead." And I was like, "You sure about this? Like, I don't want you going fucking up on me now. Like, you're because that's an interesting thing about this that kind of makes a twist on it. It's like Eminem Walsh is not giddy about doing it, but he's like he's making sure Danadea is ready for the fact like if we do this, that shit's gonna be on your conscience, basically.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I'll pay you 10 grand.
He's trying to talk him out of it, but by not talking him out of it at the same time.
Yeah, it's like I'll pay you 10 grand. All right, go to Corpus for a couple of days fishing. I'll tell you when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is a fun,
just like that.
Yeah, like, and that is a funny thing. Is like I know you were gonna ask me like how it is like Texas wise. A lot of it's not in the script and it's few mentions, but the locations are definitely there, especially if you're going further east. Because like around the area they're in, which is Houston, Corpus Christi, that is definitely more east, more southeast Texas.
Right.
So that's like you're heading towards the south. That's like you're heading towards the rest of the south, or you're heading towards like the Gulf of Mexico. Mm-hmm. And yes, it's the Gulf of Mexico, not the Gulf of America. Fuck you, whoever suggested that. Anyway.
Send your letters to Dr. Care of Starlite Pot. No, I'm just kidding.
No, hey, if it's them, I'll take their fucking hate mail. Fuck them. Anyway. So we have the break-in scene with MM at Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. Like, it's for a break-in, it's weirdly understated.
It's not as flashy. It's using your fucking card, basically.
Yeah, it's not even really that tense. It's just sort of, he's right there. He's thinking about doing it. Then he goes outside, and later we cut to him meeting Dan Hedaya.
You forgot something.
Which one was that? What did I miss?
He stole something.
Oh, right, her
Pearl-handed
Railroad
revolver.
38, yeah.
Got her for her wedding.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I heard that in the beginning, and I thought that's a check I was going if I ever heard it, and I was right.
So anyway,
Yeah. So after the break-in and like stealing some stuff, Eminem Walsh meets up with Dan, calls Dan and says that it's done, and then they meet. Which also, it's kind of funny. Dan Hedaya straight up just comes and he just happens and he has fish.
fish. I mean, is it biting over at Christie? Because if it is, that's amazing.
Depending on where you go, yeah, because Corpus is near Gulf of Mexico, and like South Padre Island is around that area.
Right.
So you could be getting ocean fish, but there's also a couple of rivers and like lakes around that, especially that area, because there's a lot of like vegetation and stuff around that area. So
what you're saying is Corpus Christi is rich in seafood.
For the most part, yeah. Especially you go like South Padre, that's the kind of the Texas spring break spot. Think like
Right.
Daytona Beach or like Venice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there is a big thing of seafood, but there's a big thing of like touristy stuff down that way.
Right. So if you're not into the
Now,
seafood, you go for the fresh water fish too. Interesting.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love how this is the second time I've had to teach you about Texas geography.
No, it's cool. I'm learning.
No, I know. It's just I find it funny. It's the if I had a nickel situation, it's like
nickels, but you be rubbing them.
Which is two nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice, right?
Yeah.
So you have the meeting, and it's like it's done, and like he shows him the photo, which did look a little off, and then the twist happened. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's my following of technology in terms of photo manipulation, or it just looked off either way. It's like you put spray paint on that.
It is pre-Photoshop, right? You gotta give him.
Yeah, no, I give him that. I mean, he at least tried.
Yeah, and it's enough to trick Dan Hedaya's dumbass.
Right? It's like, you've got to be kidding me. I bet he thought it was too fake too, because he had used the wash your hands sign.
Yeah. Yeah, but also like that could be a trick that like you mess around with exposure you can do, like because you have that scene of him in like a red room,
right?
Like an exposure room, like missing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, is that, and then all of a sudden it's like count the money and go. Like he doesn't want to see him. I was like, nah, I'm trust you. And then with his wife's 38, he shoots him. Like that part, I was like, oh, okay, we're going here.
That caught you off guard, huh?
A little bit, because it's like I didn't think about it. Like I saw him steal the revolver. I'm like, okay, that's it, I guess. But like all of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay. Immediately, I thought the twist was going to be that Francis got to him first. And like,
oh, that's how classic Noir acts. This is Noir.
Yeah, so it's no. She didn't get to him first. It's just that he's kind of a sociopath.
Right, and she gets framed for it.
Yeah, that. As much as sleepy as our main guy is, I will give him props. That is the most emotion he had during that entire movie.
Yeah,
was him seeing that shit and freaking out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh shit.
Yeah. But
and he sees Frances McDormand's gun and it's like, oh no, she didn't. Oh no. Mm-hmm. And like, because he's desperate in love, she starts like cleaning up the blood and all that shit. And it's like,
right. And that is where you get the towels in the back seat.
Hey.
There you go, all you Quentin fans.
So, again, at the end of the day, it's sort of just that happens. Although I do kind of like the twist that Danadea wasn't killed instantly at the shot, so you have that moment with the car.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it has to be Ray. Ray basically pulling the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, the scene with the truck, I thought, because the way I thought it was going, like he's crawling out and he's grabbing the shovel. Like first, it looked like he was going to straight up try to bash him to death.
Right.
Then he sees a truck coming, and I thought when he grabbed him, I was like, oh, is he going to throw him at the truck and try to make it look like an accident?
No, yeah, that would have been interesting though.
That would have been interesting, but also kind of funny in that dark humor sense
A
way. Like
bit,
I think
yeah.
that's what like modern Coen Brothers writing would be.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But eventually, like he does get him out of the way, and like that leads to the open grave, like the buried alive part and all that.
Now, were you at Edge when what's his name? Hideo was pulling the trigger of the gun.
I was interested though in that because it's like, oh, okay, how's this gonna go? And it's like, click, yeah, no, like I am glad that happened because if he did leave a bullet in there, I'm sorry, that would be one of those moments where I ask, wow, is our main guy that stupid?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they do make it a point to look at like the bullet count in that 38.
Mm-hmm. And we had
Like,
like 3 shots in it, wasn't it?
yeah, like 3 shots left. Yeah.
Right. So we should add 2 bullets in that thing. Or unless Visser put 2 bullets into Hidea.
I think maybe no, it was it was one shot,
Mm-hmm.
but I think maybe because I think you see him look through the barrels at one point. Maybe he emptied it out and like maybe he emptied out except for a bullet.
Okay.
So that when if somebody finds it, if it's the cops or Ray, it's empty.
Right.
So it makes it more like a suicide than like a actual like a hit.
Right. Right.
So
But
like
anyway.
yeah. So you have that happen, and basically, yeah, he's fucking dead at this point. The day is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And what ends up happening is this interesting sort of thing where it's like it gets sort of tense where nobody knows that Emmett Walsh did it. So Ray thinks not Julie. What was
Julie.
what was Francis's name in this? Not Julie. What was it?
Abby.
Abby, yeah. So
Julie
like Ray Ray thinks Abby did it, so that's why he cleaned it up. But then when Ray goes home and tells Abby about what happened, Abby's confused that Abby thinks Ray killed him. And then Maurice shows up. Maurice talks to Abby about how, like I think Ray's gone nuts. He stole the cash.
Mm-hmm.
So Maurice thinks that something's wrong, and that adds to Abby's paranoia that Ray might have done it. And I guess you can argue he technically did because he technically finished the job.
Right.
But the main shot was Lauren and Emma Walsh.
Mm-hmm. Who's laying in the bathroom staring at the bottom of the sink.
Yeah, that was a pretty shot. That was an interesting shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you just see him stare up as he dies and just look at not even at like the pipe, but like at the condensation on the pipe as the water's about to drop down on his face.
Right.
And like before he could even drop, the movie ends. Like cut the credits.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's definitely interesting. Like the climax was definitely weirdly both climactic and anticlimactic.
How so?
Because it wasn't really like actiony as much. Because like the setup is that they stole something from Emmett Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to kill him and get it back.
Right, because he was.
So he sets up being a sniper from across the fucking way.
And you'd think they got away with it by turning off the light, but they turned back on the light.
Got good. And I love how nobody like that's the thing I love about movie logic is that all this is happening and yet police weren't immediately called.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody slept through fucking sniper shots.
Sniper shots, screaming, hungry,
More
snub nose
gunshots.
44 shot. I think was there a shotgun shot?
No, but there was
There was a
MMA
pro
boss.
hand. Yeah.
That was him punching and shooting the wall to try to get.
You would think someone get the cops around this town.
Yeah, like, and it helped. It doesn't really help that someone's playing music in the background, so you think the landlady or somebody's up.
Right.
So like they don't even like cut to her like being down below cleaning, and like the music's really loud, so she can't hear anything.
Right. But
It's
you
like,
know there's a radio on and then it's on high.
yeah, like you can hear it from outside, so you at least get a hint.
Right.
So, like, all this is happening, and it's again, it's the same thing with like them breaking in. It's not real. It's weirdly not tense because it's just all kind of awkward, but like awkward in the interesting way, not awkward and then this is badly done way.
Right. You think it's like muted.
Yeah, again, like a lot of this is so muted in a weird way. Like
even
a lot of the colors that are there are very like muted.
Gotcha.
Like you see like the neon in the bar or like like the outfits and even like outside with a lot of the colors. Like if you have ever been in like Texas sun, like when the sun goes down, it gets orange, and I mean fucking orange, depending on where you are. But a lot of it was so, again, it's so weirdly muted and like understated in a weird way. Now, maybe that's them doing it intentionally, or maybe that's them doing what they can with what they got. Because this being their first movie, I imagine there wasn't a lot of budget.
No, I don't think there was a bunch. I think there was like, oh, now we got to go to IMDb.
Like, at least, I would say definitely what, 5, maybe 6 digits, depending.
I want to say 6 digits, $100,000.
Maybe a little less.
Blood simple. The joys of internet television, folks.
Oh, I found it.
You found it?
Yeah. $7,500.
$7,500.
No, $750K. My bad.
750. Okay, 75,000. That sounds a lot more. Okay.
Yeah, like, but it's definitely still like low budget, even for like the 80s. Well, maybe more closer to mid budget, I guess, because we weren't in the millions yet.
No.
In the 80s, but we were still like we
were in the millions,
but we hadn't gone like double, triple digit
millions. Yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't gone like full like $300-400 million for a movie.
$1 billion a movie.
Yeah.
By the way, keep it small, keep it simple, rely on your story. That's the best movie.
I mean, we did just kind of have a proof of concept with that, recently.
Right.
Yeah, considering how fucking well that movie's done. Holy shit.
It's still going.
They
had to take screens away from it.
Yeah, because from what I understand, that there was a plan for that. Like they knew it was going to happen. It's just that I guess they didn't expect it to get as big as it did.
Right.
Because that still had talent behind it. That still had recognizable names behind it.
Of course, yeah. Oh
yeah, if you don't get what we're talking about, watch the first first batch
The
of
mini
the
reviews.
first mini review we did of this batch.
Sinners, yeah.
Yeah, that involves vampires and fucking white women. Goddamn white woman. I will
Vampire.
say, like, a weird comparison for this and Sinners.
Let's do a juke joint with vampires.
Yeah, I will say one thing I can't help but laugh. It's like this and Sinners have in common that you have the black guy who's done with everybody's shit.
Yes.
So like
Yes.
in this you had Maurice, and then in Sinners you had Smoke and like and not Virginia Slim, Delta Slim.
Delta Slim.
Yeah. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, if you're a Coen completionist, you probably already have this, and if not, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
As the first Coen Brothers movie,
It's never.
no.
No. I would if you want to ease into the Coens, I'd go Raising Arizona.
He's in Arizona, Big Lebowski,
Big
Fargo,
Lebowski.
maybe.
Fargo.
Like this is
The
this is
Hudsucker Proxy, maybe.
maybe Hudsucker Proxy. I imagine that's more second tier. That's where you put like True
Barton
Grit
Fink,
and
True Grit.
and Oh Brother Where Art Thou and No Country for Old Men. Like you get them with the humor first, and then get them into the dark shit. You know,
Okay. I hear you.
because that's what the Coen Brothers are mainly known for now.
Right.
When you think about it, like there's those two, and then the third tier that would be like this Miller's Crossing,
Mm-hmm.
Lady Killers, maybe, but that's less because it's deep and more because it's kind of bad.
The Man Who Wasn't There.
But Ballad of Buster Scruggs,
Mm-hmm.
like that, those are ones you watch if you're deep into the Coens.
Right.
And as for Neo Noir, yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely second, third tier.
Yeah. If you're trying to get in, you need something more flashy before doing this.
Yeah, like you
You got to build up to it.
I think it's one of those things where it's like you need Neo Noir. You need Neo Noir to be like classic noir first before you get into the subversions. It's kind of like how with westerns you want to watch classic westerns before you watch stuff like Unforgiven and Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like hell, watch Tombstone before you watch Unforgiven. You get the same idea.
Right. Don't watch Wyatt Earp. Watch Tombstone.
That will get you into it, even though there is some stupid parts in that movie too.
Tombstone and Silverado.
Yeah. Like you get to those and then maybe watch like Unforgiven or Shane or Giant.
Mm-hmm.
And then third tier you get into the weird shit. That's where you get spaghetti. That's where you get like Django, the spaghetti,
mm-hmm. The paellas.
Maybe Max 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, even as a classic as that is, Max 7 is weirdly subdued for like a western when you think about it.
Well, it's copying a samurai film, so.
Well, yeah, of course. And then again, also, you can go the opposite end of that with the third tier and go like Shanghai Joe or like Killer Be Killed.
Killer Be Killed, Blind Man.
Cutthroat
8.
Basically, any Django movie that's not the original Django or Unchained.
Yeah. Or just got a name because they wanted to sell it on the name.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Django.
Oh, yeah. Kill, Django, Kill.
Mm-hmm. Django meets Sartana.
Why am I not shocked that's an actual movie? I'm not going to lie.
Oh, it's an actual movie, yeah.
Yeah. Or like if you want to go an opposite side of Django, maybe Great Silence.
Great Silence. Mm-hmm. See these tangents, folks?
Like, we can go all day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is, while it's good, it's definitely not first recommendations.
Right. Was there any graphic language in this?
A bit.
A little bit.
A little bit of dams and shits in there, you know.
Mm-hmm. How's the violence?
A bit more. Especially at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because we get like straight knife through the hand.
Right. We get like bullets and gut/nut kicks.
Yeah.
Is there any nudity or sexual content?
A bit. Not much. You do get to see Frances McDormand and someone else fucking, but
But
not much else.
did we see skin?
A little bit, but we didn't get we didn't see like full tit, if that's what you mean.
A bit, okay. Is it
Yeah.
family friendly?
Nope.
No. How much entertainment value did you get out of this? I got a bit more of it.
Bit more like halfway between a bit more and a Lactus. This is definitely very good, and there's definitely interesting to see the Coens where they started, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not like but it's not like where like again, this is not a first recommendation to anybody.
No, no,
So
no, definitely not.
no,
Anything else you want to say about Blood Simple?
no, it's bad. Honestly, like it's as complicated as we make it sound. At the end of the day, it's a very simple. Do you like noir movies?
You like
You like
Noah
the Coens?
movies? You like Texas?
You like the Coens?
You like Coens?
There you go. Have fun.
There you go. Yeah, have some fun. So that is Blood Simple. So Doc, you got your second pick coming up. What's up?
So, I'm sticking to Criterion because I've been on a binge lately and we love them.
Right.
However,
Go
they
check
just
out a
did a
Criterion.
yeah,
Easy streaming service. Excellent films. Try them out.
yeah. So they just released a very interesting collection. A
Which one was
collection,
it?
a collection of movies with writer Terry Southern.
Oh yeah.
And one in particular caught my eye because, well, let me ask you this, Roy. Did you ever want a spaceship with Shaq carpeting?
Kinda, a little bit.
And my second
If it
question
works,
is,
it works.
yeah, and my second question is, what are your thoughts on Duran Duran?
I love Duran Duran.
Well, we're about to see their origins because next time on Starlight Mini, we take a look at the 60s cult sci-fi classic,
Barbarella.
Barbarella.
Oh boy. We're gonna have some fun, folks.
Time for the clusterfuck.
Grab your favorite drug of choice. We're gonna go there.
Oh god, and we can also talk about that script and how chopped up it got because
Yeah.
boy.
Indeed, indeed. So Doc, shall I put the banners up?
Please go ahead. So, of course, you can find us at here on Roy's channel, but also at Starlight, the Red Light, and OTEP over the years at Wolfman Podcast, wolfmanscott.podbean.com. You can find me at Blue Sky mainly. That's my main source of social media now at chaotic.blue sky. You can also find me here on Criticless, where me and Roy do reviews and certain other things on there. And hell, you probably got this from Criticless. So yeah, hi, I'm on there. Roy's on there. You can find us both. You can see our thoughts on stuff. And that's about it. Roy, your socials, please. Tell them where you can find us.
You can find us here on the Starlight, the Red Light, and OTEP here at the Wolfstand Podcast, podbean.com, as he said. You can also send some love mail, some hate mail, some Noir mail, some Texas mail, some fishery mail, some fish mail. You can send some nice little decorative lighter mail over at Starlight Podcast at protonmail.com. We also have a Twitter. You can check us at capital R, capital L, capital B, capital S, Starlight. Yes, capital. All in capitals. Our LP Starlight. You can send some recommendations, some commendations. You can even say hi. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to converse with you. So give us a try. Find me at Criticless. I'm working on something big on a list right now. It's going slow, but it's going steady. It's awesome. Wait till it happens. I do also do reviews like this and other reviews on other movies here on criticalist.com. So give us a hi, give a wave, give us a thumbs up. We'd love to hear from you. And with that being said, put your radios back on the pole. Turn on your front lights and follow the directions on the street to the exits. We out. Goodbye.
Well, I'm gonna go get the acid and the Italian charcuterie.
Oh my god. I'll try to make sure John Philip Law doesn't put on his wingsuit again. Um,
Oh God,
yeah, really.
Angel has no memory. My ass.